Hello, today we're making lemon blueberry muffins. So we're going to need 1/2 cup of unsalted butter, room temperature, 1 cup of sugar, and also zest from half of a lemon. Cream that together until light and fluffy. Alright, it looks pretty good. And so now we'll add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, along with 1 room temperature egg, and also juice from half of a lemon. And so mix that together until just combined. Alright, so you can set that aside, and now we'll grab our bowl for our dry ingredients. Alright, so you'll need 1 cup and 3/4 of cake flour. And I decide to sift it because it makes a more like fluffy and light muffin, but that's totally up to you. You can also use all-purpose flour if you prefer that. And then I added 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I used kosher salt for this recipe. And whisk that together. Alright, you can set that aside. Alright, so we have our blueberries. I rinsed mine off, so I'm patting it dry. Alright, add 1/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour. And then mix that together. I would not recommend using a fork here to prevent you piercing one of the blueberries by accident. I like using a spoon. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, so grab your wet ingredients, also a spatula, rubber spatula, 1/2 cup buttermilk, your flour, and your flour mixture. And so we are going to add just like 1/3 of the flour mixture into the wet ingredients. Alright, fold that. Try not to overmix. Alright, that looks good. Now we're going to add half of the buttermilk. Alright, and then another 1/3 of the flour mixture. Add the rest of the buttermilk. And finally add the rest of the flour mixture. And this should make a pretty thick batter. Alright, and then carefully fold in the blueberries. Alright, and we're done. Alright, so grab greased and floured muffin pans. I use 2. And add your batter. Make sure to fill it up to about 3/4 of the way. Is pretty good. It shouldn't overfill if you do that. Alright, it looks good. And throw it in the oven at 375 Fahrenheit for 30 to 35 minutes. Okay, so my muffins are a bit blonde, but they still taste amazing. But throw them in for a little longer if you want like a more caramelized flavor.